You don't have to fix everything around you to be happy. Because if you wait for everything to be perfect, then you might miss your opportunity to actually be happy. I just been thinking to myself, like, I haven't been doing enough. I haven't been giving myself enough grace. And maybe it's just me being a hard worker. Maybe it's just me being not content with where I am, and wanting to be successful and trying so hard to achieve the dreams that I aspire to have and everything. But I've come to realize that I just need to accept where I am. I need to accept where my feet are. Because if I don't accept this moment right now, I will never get this moment back. And I guess it's just, realizing that has brought me so much more peace. And I've just been growing closer to God. And it's just been doing wonders. But I sometimes I lose track of where I am right now. And that's okay. But don't lose this moment searching for the next moment. Because if you keep waiting for everything to be perfect, then you will miss your opportunity. But you know what? It's not about always being positive. It's not about always being happy. It's more so as just enjoying the experience. And when I focus on being in a state where I enjoy my experience, you will be faced with a lot of things that will throw you off of your path, that will try to throw your energy off. But this is when you work on yourself, and this is when you stay in your mind, because your mind is everything. that is if I can tell you one thing, that is your superpower. That is your mind. Okay, there's science backed up by this, and I'm not no psychologist, I'm not anything of that nature. But I do know that when I am myself, when I be myself, when I'm laughing, when I'm smiling, when I'm doing what I want to do, and when I want to do it, and how I want to do it, and it brings some sort of vibration to me. And yes, my mic is in my ear, but it brings some sort of joy that you can't cultivate by not being in your aligned state of being, if that makes sense. And you're probably going to ask me, what is my aligned state of being? I should ask, what's going on with you? Because I love you dearly. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you? Do you have something going on that you're not taking care of? And I said you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect to be happy. But you still have to deal with the things that are stopping you from being happy. The majority of the things that are taking away our joy, our peace, are the things that aren't in our control. And the things that aren't in our possession, and the things that aren't are not in our hands, deserve to be free from our mind. And I feel like it's right for you to choose the positive path. And what's the positive path? Well, the positive path for me would be to just focus on moving forward. It can be hard to put some things behind us, but if that thing didn't happen, then we're not allowing that thing to showcase its real beauty. We're not allowing that thing to showcase the reason why it happened. And I said this in one of my other videos. It was I think I said it, like branches in autumn, they lose their leaves. But They don't cry and say they miss their leaves. They don't cry. They thug it out. They thug it out, and next spring you're gonna see them, the flowers blossom again. They're gonna grow back. And just because you might lose some leaves, you know what I'm saying, you might get cold, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to be happy anymore. That doesn't mean that you should take a life. You know, you have so much to live for, and I just want you to know that whatever you're going through, you know, whatever you feel like is impossible to get over, you know, whatever you feel like you can't get your mind off of this thing, if you feel like you cannot, you can. Before you talk to anybody, talk to God. Talk to God first, because when you're alone, you're really not alone. God is with you, and God is in your presence. You know, and I'm not trying to push no religion on nobody or no nothing, but it's the truth. And, you know, your prayers will be answered. But it's not about when your prayers are answered. It's not even about it's not even about your prayers being answered. This is just about you being the best version of yourself. And your higher self is counting on you to be the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself does not mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean you're happy all the time. The best version of yourself is just waiting for you to enjoy your life as it is. Because the reality that you want, the life that you want, is not too far from you. It's not. It's not. I was happy before I had a YouTube channel, a growing YouTube channel. I was happy before I had a growing Instagram. I was happy before I had this pimple in the middle of my head, but I'm gonna be happy when this pimple goes away. I have a bad habit of actually popping my pimples. But because I have that bad habit, that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna sit here and enjoy my life. I'm still gonna sit here and enjoy my life. I'm still gonna set the camera up, regardless of how I look, regardless of how I feel. I'm gonna show up as much as I can for you. You know, and I feel like that's why I just find fulfillment. You know, making other people happy, making other people feel secure brings me fulfillment. So what brings you fulfillment? What will make you feel fulfilled? You know, and those are the type of questions that I feel like you should ask yourself. Those are the type of questions I feel like could change your life. But the more that you wait for everything to be perfect, the more that you'll wait for... You might wait for days, you might wait for weeks, years. And you still might be that person that you don't want to be. And that's okay. It's okay to not be who you thought you'd be. But you can make a change right now. And accept everything for what it is. And say to yourself that my life is perfect. God put everything in this path for you for a reason. Everything is perfect. It's perfect. Man, everything that I went through, bro. All the failed friendships, the failed relationships, the failed everything, bro. Me crashing out. Man, it had to happen, or I wouldn't have been able to make these type of videos. I wouldn't be able to be the person that I needed to be for me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, find ways to just enjoy this life. And I can't tell you the perfect way. I can't tell you the perfect way. But I can tell you what worked for me. It was dealing with that problem first at hand. Acknowledging the problem is probably the first step. Acknowledging, realization. Second is asking yourself what you can do. what could I do to fix this? The third thing is it in my control? Is it out of my control? And if it's out of your control, then you have to find these ways of removing the triggers. Oh, excuse me. Removing the triggers that cause you to think like this, that cause your thoughts to influence you to behave and react like this, But God called me to make a video for you guys tonight, and I wasn't even gonna upload, but I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can motivate you to show up, then you'll show up without even knowing. I don't even know what I said, but I think you get the gist of it. I love you guys. Have a good day.